Alright.
Is this roll?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Since there's no public, we can probably just skip over that.
Oh, wait.
I guess. Do you have
No
any
questions from the public.
Do you have any public comment? Okay. So we
And
can.
he was coming in there in the wire.
All right, I don't have any comments. We can just move into the approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve last month's meeting minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well. Motion carried. We haven't done so.
How's it going with Cisco compared to US Foods now? Is it kind of get leveled out? Is it worth doing or?
We had some kinks in the beginning. I think that we're gonna see savings.
Okay.
The food cost this month is significantly higher than another month. Our warmer broke, so the cafeteria staff had to revise the menu after they had already placed the food order. So I'm hoping to see some reduction in food costs next month as we carry forward.
Seems like, yeah, US wasn't that far behind Cisco.
Yeah.
Is
They're
our
buying
salad,
warmer then? Sorry.
I'm sorry, what?
They're buying warmer then or? is
No,
fixed,
it
or-
was able to be repaired. You'll see those costs on the next one.
Okay.
is the salad bar not a thing this year? No. Was that a big loss?
That's not, it's expensive.
That was running to Costco for that stuff, wasn't it?
That'd be
Labor
fresh.
intensive, I guess it was labor intensive. Probably challenging to do that in a cost effective way with two people.
Do you have a lot of waste in the salad bar? I don't know. No,
Yes,
I'm not-
when it was a bar, you know, like we think of it as a salad bar, if men's place, that they ended up salad bar, basically you got in a clamshell. So it wasn't really a salad bar, you got a salad. And folks put that together.
How's that going too?
I think it's going fine. You know, we've got, one of our paraprofessionals spends about 2.5 hours a day in there helping and washing dishes.
See if you know, just first of all,
I moved to approve. October's bill.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well. Motion carried. Sorry,
Concert's done. Commissioner,
Concerts are done and they're all in there. I just got a check today to deposit for close-up that's got some of the cleaning that they do to fundraise over at the stadium.
What are we getting for keeping the stadium now?
Oh, I think we get 500 per clean.
so
Is-
for playoffs,
Yeah, is what, it's like 250 if they do something or 500 if they do something else. But we've been averaging about 500 per clean.
Like whatever section we're in or something.
It's usually the, what is the east and the south?
Yeah, and I think that's per section.
Yeah.
It's been pretty significant. I mean,
And then the playoffs was like 700.
The playoffs are starting.
Yeah. And then the one night we did it, they had us do the perimeter garbage cans too.
Yeah,
And they added like another 500 just for like 15 garbage.
yeah.
Cause Sentinel's band wasn't there to do it, so we took that part too.
It's been a really lucrative
It's good.
fundraiser.
And it's like an hour and a half, top 2 hours, depending on if they're. unless it's freezing.
That one,
Then it's
that
not
we had
fun.
when it was snowing after that one day when it was midnight. Oh my
Gross.
gosh, it was cheap everywhere. I was like,
Yeah.
at the.
I thought the warm games were gross.
Oh,
The cold games are way gross.
Okay.
And then everything freezes too. The
And
benches
your
and
glove,
everything.
your
can't wait.
rubber gloves on
can't
over with
wait.
your glove.
Yeah. Everything's moist from who knows where.
It's so disgusting.
You guys are really
This
selling
might
it.
be our highest rated show.
I know.
The warm games are half sound like I don't think I'll ever do a cold game.
Yeah,
Start making, what, we can monetize our YouTube.
yeah.
I don't know what to look forward
Reality.
to.
All right,
I'll move to approve the, extracurricular fund report.
I'll second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I as well, motion carried. And that brings us to the items for action, and I'll turn it over to you, Mr.
All
Howard.
right, thank you. Last month, we had a good conversation about, a number of facilities things, including, PTA's desire to continue, raising money and with the idea of completing their vision for, our playground. And, so I would, and it seemed like we had consensus on the board that we were comfortable moving forward with that. So I'd ask for a motion to that effect, authorizing PTA to pursue donations and grant funding for the proposed second phase of the playground, with the understanding that once the funds are fully raised, the district will approve its purchase and installation.
Are there any questions or comments?
They kind of answered my stuff, yeah.
Can we get a motion?
I'd move to authorize Bonner PTA to pursue donations and grant funding for the proposed second phase of the playground, with the understanding that once the funds are fully raised, the district will approve its purchase and installation. All second.
Any public comments on them?
Bonner Milltown Community Council continues to support that. We voted on that last night just to make sure that we could have easy letters to go out to in support of any grant fundings immediately without having to continue to make a special meeting or anything like that. It was voted unanimously with unanimous, good attendance last night from the public too.
So,
Cool. Thank you.
There you go.
all right, we'll need to vote all in favor.
Aye.
I as well, motion carried.
I'm gonna, ask to tweak this, next motion a little bit. If you're comfortable with it, I'd like to recommend that we hire Ronnie Decker, not as a substitute teacher, but as an instructional aide for the 25-26 school year pending successful completion of the background check. We interviewed her the other day. She's in the education program at Montana Western. Has some experience subbing, talked to some references, got a lot of experience working with kids in outdoor education, including whitewater rafting with little kids. So clearly has some knowledge about working with kids in areas of responsibility and care. So anyway, I think she'll be solid, and I guess I'll talk more during my superintendent's report on why I'm adding a para.
So when we go from hiring a substitute to an instructional aide, that means she'll be around a little more, a little more one-on-one, a little more time out of her.
Yeah, she'd be in every day.
Okay. I'll move to hire Ronnie Deckard as a instructional aide for the 25-26 school year pending successful completion of a background check.
A second.
Is there any public comments on the motion? All right, hearing none, we'll need to vote all in favor.
Aye.
That's
I as well, motion carried.
The last motion or item is reflects a change in state legislation just on when we have to notify the powers that be, I guess, the county election board that we're going to have an election, which we have 2 seats coming up in May. That's Mr. Baums and Mr. Sters. seats are, up in May, and then, there's the potential that we would run a levy. And this motion to hold an election doesn't tie your hands to do levy or not, but it does, communicate that we are going to hold an election.
They would be on the same election.
Yeah, it would be the May, it's the same. Yeah, first Tuesday in May, it's just, we have to notice under the law, the voters and everybody else here.
We don't have
So
to
there's-
say what
Declare your
we're trying to do,
intentions,
yeah,
yeah.
just our intentions. Okay.
The deadline used to be in February, and we moved it up to December, but we can't do it at our December board meeting because of how the date falls, so we have to do it this early.
I move to hold the election on May 5th, 2026 for the purpose of electing trustees and possibly for general fund.
Second.
Any public comment about it on motion? All right, hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor?
I,
I as well, motion carried. All right, turn it over to you, Ms. Andrews.
Perfect. I feel like we had a very successful parent-teacher conference. We had, lots of parents in the building, lots of good conversations, rich conversations with, teachers and parents, about students' growth. We had bingo for books on Thursday, sponsored by Mrs. Bagby. That was fun to see some of the kids come. Some of them came back even though they didn't have parent-teacher conferences that night, just to play bingo for books. So that was fun. She gave lots of good books away. I want to talk a little bit about student of the quarter. Our SLT group has really worked hard on different aspects of our school and just different levels of PD and different professional development that we've been tracking over the last few years. Everything from reading professional development to math professional development. And one of our SLT goals is to increase our students' behaviors and academics through our GRIT initiative. And so one of the things that we did is we outlined student of the quarter, and just so happens GRIT is 4 letters. So we're going to do and honor one student per grade level, not per class, but per grade level for each of the 4 letters of GRIT. This last quarter was for G for growth. A committee got together and talked about each grade level, talked about students, talked about academic goals and growth, as well as emotional and behavior goals and growth that they've showed. And each group nominated a student. And last week we had an assembly here in the cafeteria for middle school where the kids were recognized in front of their peers. And then elementary TK5 held one in the gym where we invited the parents or the guardians of the students. It was a secret. No one knew who was nominated or who was going to be honored. We spent some special time talking about how they earned their student of the quarter. We talked about what that looked like. We talked about how if you didn't earn one this quarter, you might earn one next year or next quarter. How the teachers kind of chose those things. And then we called the students forward and honored them. They got a yard sign that says student of the, or lumberjack of the quarter on one side, and on the other side says something very similar, but different logos. One has the GRIT logo, one has the big lumberjack, and it's for their yard. They got a certificate. They got their picture taken. Those are all in the trophy case thingy. I'm not sure it's not a trophy case, but the little reader board out here, whatever that's called. They're on the rolling screen, and then they're also on our website. So we really wanted to highlight that achievement for every student, and we really wanted to make it something pretty special. And then I feel like that was just a great contribution from our SLT team of really concentrating and focusing on, different aspects of our student community and our student population. First with really focusing on reading, and then math, and now the social emotional behavior side of a student. So that's been fun. And I look forward to R for respect next quarter. We still will have our honor roll assembly for 4-5. It's going to be a little bit different. They'll still get their honor roll, which is a donut. But it's going to be here in the cafeteria. And we still want to honor those kids, but we really want our student body to focus on our GRIT initiative. And so that's why it's going to be here in the cafeteria. And it's tomorrow at 12:30, and then they go bowling Monday the 17th. Can't remember the time, in the afternoon. PTA movie night is this Friday. Craft fair is coming up quickly. Same with Little Elves. Basketball, we had 19 students go out for basketball this quarter. I was kind of sad, but not super surprised. We only have one 6th grader. So that's something that we want to, try to really encourage through our open gym and those kinds of things to get some more kids involved for next year. I gave you the total, and you all have access to the enrollment numbers. Our enrollment's 321. And if you look at the enrollment sheet that I send out to you all and update each month, you're going to notice that, there's some classes that are pretty small still. TK is only at 15. First grade only has 23 kiddos. Third grade only has 29. And so those are pretty small numbers. So just for myself, being mindful of what that looks like as we continue moving forward for this year, and looking at those numbers and those trends that are continuing. Having small cohorts of students seems to be continuing through ever since like our second grader, or excuse me, our first graders were in TK. That was small, and it just continues to be small. So again, our total is 321 kiddos. If you have any questions that I can answer.
How long will the assembly be long?
15 minutes.
Were parents notified?
They should have been through their teachers. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, the teachers do those notifications.
Through the.
Jojo probably. You're some kind of member.
My wife, she informed me when things are.
The other day I was at a service, we put her to the service. But then yesterday I was at lunch.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna delete it.
Don't delete it.
The app, I'm still working.
Her app works. Mine doesn't.
I can't even get it down, no, I use it.
I never deleted
It
it.
didn't work on me out in Clinton because I didn't have any service. I tried to look at it last week. And I thought, well, it finally got me, but it was just because I didn't have service, because I tried to do it yesterday. No, just that.
Just the app itself.
The lumberjack app.
That was an handy thing to have.
But-
Paying for it? It was up to we- Yes. We're paying for it, we probably work on it a bit, yeah, we. I mean, I got it about July.
We did. You did talk to them once. They
Yeah,
just-
yeah, we've been several rounds with them, but we need to work on, we've changed there. Work on that.
All right.
Just don't delete it.
That is it. Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, I want to recognize today's Veterans Day. I don't know, do we have any veterans on our board? Aware of that, but, we certainly are grateful to those in our nation who serve and have served our country. I want that to go unrecognized. Our music teachers, got some Veterans Day, music, but it will be, presented to the public in a sense on our Thanksgiving Day, meal. Each, trustees, if you can attend that, please let, Gabby or I know, and we'll get you, let me have you here. That's Thursday, not Thursday.
The 20th.
23rd.
Yeah, Thursday the 20th. Yeah, I was trying, Thursday the 20th. Thank you. So, I have here in this box an award that Lori has earned. Do you know about this, Lori? No. Take one of these, pass this down. Lori has earned 96 credit hours of MTSBA board training in her lifetime. So she's been awarded the Carbon Heights Award, recognition of having earned the highest level of individual certification from the Montana School Boards Association School Board Academy.
Well, if you would like to come in and I will do it at a different time and then we can post it, but
So, and some of that probably came through in.
Yeah.
So, congratulations, Lori. She was mentioned at at the MCL Awards Assembly.
I wasn't there.
Got some exciting news. You'll see it in the spending, but Zulu Chevrolet has kindly committed to cover the full cost of a brand new scoreboard, which has been ordered.
That's amazing.
And it's going to be shiny and sharp looking board, modern technology. It's going to have a nice Zulu Chevrolet panel on it, and we appreciate their generosity and support. Of course, that comes to a large degree through Mr. Moran, one of our school parents, who's been a real advocate for our kids. So we appreciate that the whole team over there.
I saw the one at Valley Christian. Yeah, that's awesome.
I feel like I am beat the same drum over and over, but I can't. It's important. The Innovative Education Tax Credit, the window's going to open January 15th. It's become a key part of some of the ways we fund things. Last couple of years, we've brought in about $60,000-$70,000. I'd love to see us peak or exceed 100,000. I think it's largely getting the word out. The more and more people that are experiencing sort of the benefit of the dollar for dollar credit, I think it's easier and easier to sell it. So, and again, people that support Bonner School don't have to live in our district. They can have grandkids here or nieces and nephews, or just believe in the mission of Bonner School. And as long as they pay Montana income taxes, they would be eligible for that tax credit. So do what you can to get the word out. If you have thoughts on how to get the word out, I certainly, I visit with community partners and friends and bend people's ear whenever I can, even if I meet a stranger who's excited about education and the fact that I'm in education. I ask them what school are you supporting, and never know. So, because most people are excited about the idea of directing their tax money to a school they believe in. So keep that in mind. We'll keep getting the word out on that. Want to talk a little bit about some special education restructuring. Mr. Long. I accepted his resignation this week. He was one of our 3 special ed teachers. He's requested to be released from contract and move on to other things, and we accepted that. We're down a sped teacher. I posted that immediately at Office of Public Instruction and did not, we have not heard anything, and that's no shock as there's hardly anybody out there. Of course, the shortage on the special ed teachers is extreme, nationwide, statewide, especially. But I really want to commend our team that is here, our special ed team, led by Ms. Fox, our special ed coordinator, and Ms. Evans, a brand new sped teacher as well. And a really fantastic team of paraprofessionals this year. They're stepping up, and so we're going to move forward, and I'm confident that we're moving forward in a way that's going to serve our kids well. One of the ways we'll alleviate some of those pressures is an additional paraprofessional. So that's why I've asked, as you did, to approve Ronnie Deckard, and we'll be excited to have her on board soon. And then I think we're going to be in a good spot for a while, and we'll see what we can do on finding a special ed teacher.
What is Mr. Long done?
He is.
He has done.
Another area of pending restructuring, we have a 3rd grade, as you can see, with 29 kids in it. It's 28 in October, 28 in September, 29 right now. We expect that one of the 2 teachers that covers 3rd grade will be taking some leave, long-term leave. And we, as a district, we kind of have to think about, okay, how do we move forward on that? And, certainly prime consideration is what's the best way to serve our kids the best we can in their academics. And that's at the forefront of the way Mrs. Andrews and I have been thinking about this. And the another factor that, of course, is part of the way we have to think about things is what are the costs to the district, and how do we balance those with student needs? We aren't losing a staff member when they go on leave. They're still under contract and entitled to the benefits as an employee that they will receive. So those expenses continue. We have a choice as a district to hire a teacher to replace that person for half a year, and that person we would have to put on contract at a teacher salary rate, which is an additional cost to the district. And then to keep the class sizes as they currently are. Another option, and the option that I'm going to, that I intend, and basically Mrs. Andrews and I are comfortable moving forward with, is putting the 3rd grade into essentially the care of one experienced and certified teacher, and then bolstering that with a very experienced and highly qualified educator as well. And the person of Miss Bagby, our literacy and instructional coach, will be providing 90 minutes a day of math and literacy support in that classroom. So we're going to have really rich support for our kids and instruction in those 2 really core areas. I'm confident that that structure is good or better for kids than finding someone who might be right out of school and willing to fill a half a year. And so that's the direction I'm planning to take that situation.
With it being class size under 30, and that as they roll into 4th grade, will that be I guess, is it 5th grade where you can where it increases the number?
6th grade, we can go to 30. at 29, we're over by one. We're over the threshold that doesn't require any additional support in the classroom. But the model that we're talking about already presumes on instructional support.
So by law,
classroom
we have to
additional.
provide an hour and a half worth of help
Yes,
for every student we go over.
that's right.
This was on my thing to talk about. I got a couple calls on it after going to the conferences. I think, there were maybe some parents that didn't realize that their teacher may be gone until parent teacher conferences. So I was kind of curious on it. At 29 kids with Bagby in there for an hour and a half a day, that's legally what we have to cover.
We need another instructional support. It can be a para, it can be.
So now, have we looked at how many like IEPs and stuff are in that grade with the loss of special ed now? To see if it's gonna be coverable? Is that gonna make a difference?
The IEPs have to be covered and are and will be covered through the special ed.
Okay, I didn't know if we're down with special ed, at the same time, we're gonna be down with third grade, if that's gonna kind of back us into a corner.
They're covered differently.
They're covered.
Yeah.
They're covered
They're
differently.
covered through the sped team or the IEP, the way the IEP directs the sped support, and that doesn't presume on non-sped personnel or like Mrs. Bagley would not be covering those minutes anyway.
Sure. Okay, so we're okay.
Third grade happens to be one of our least special education needed support cohorts in the building.
That's
The other part of this that I think, this isn't trying to, raise a warning bell, but this is the direction our district is going, is to have more, single sections. Potential, as Mrs. Andrews indicated, you just look at our numbers, the potential for some single section classes is increasing. That's not the direction we want to go. Hopeful for and aspire to see reasons for growth in our community, but in the near term, these are our numbers. We have to be responsive as a board and, as a admin team and how we structure our staffing. We can't sustain the number of staff with that number of students. It's just, that's the reality as we understand. So
So for the short term here, our next meeting is until early December. What is our plan to communicate this with parents? Coming back from Christmas break, you don't want to have kids walk into
no, we're
a
going
different class and parents find out that way.
right. I expect that Mrs. Andrews or I will, this is in the public meeting tonight, I intend to sort of outline it and then basically put out a communication that at the November board meeting, Mr. Howard outlined the plan for third grade. Here it is. This is where we're going. So yeah, we don't want parents in the dark going forward. There was some hesitancy on, we've been working on this plan since August, a plan, not landing on one necessarily, but part of that was because our numbers could have changed. They still can, and we need to take all that into consideration, but we also have to zero in on a plan so that we don't leave the third grade staff or anyone else that lurch parents.
And when we did the combination of the kindergarten, first grade, we gave parents about a month. And so, yeah, I feel like that's honestly plenty of notification. When we went to one fifth grade classroom, same type of information. I don't feel like we're doing anything different.
Does obviously probably the teacher knows the one that's going to remain.
Of course, yes, Mr. Howard and I have had conversations with that person.
That was one of the earlier.
That was earlier.
That obviously up to the,
Yeah,
with some help.
they recognize what Ms. Bagby can bring to bear and are confident that with that structure, they can make this successful.
That room, the wall opens up. We can make that room bigger.
We could, but that's not what the plan is right
I guess
now.
it's not that.
Yeah. It-
Don't fit in one room.
Yes,
I would say there's possibility that there might be pullouts,
sure.
you know, if they choose, and we're not telling them how to do that, but they might pull out 12 kids, go do literacy with a targeted group. Speaking of numbers, this is not our school district thing per se, but some of you might be aware, and I'm sure Emily can tell you more about it, that the Blackfoot Crossing proposal, which is, it's a subdivision in the old Bonner log yard that's being proposed, a subdivision that would require zoning changes, that there's public comment period is open on the county's website for public comment on that zoning request, zoning change request. And I just want you to be aware of that if you haven't. I'm inclined as someone who sees the health of our district and the financial health of our district tied so closely to our student enrollment, and recognizing that we've lost families due to the high cost of living in this valley, and they leave the valley. If they stay in the valley, they usually stay at Bonner, travel across town, but they're leaving the valley, and that's costing us kids, and that's impacting our budget, as you feel very viscerally right now. So I'm inclined to just kind of give my perspective as a superintendent on those public comment on how budgets and student numbers and cost of housing, even for our teaching staff, is a factor on how we can provide for the schools. So you can expect me to see my personal comments from my perspective in there. I'm not speaking for the school per se, but as a superintendent that sees it that way. But if you had an interest, you can check that out. If you're interested in the link, I can send that to you. And
Jim, I know you're on a lot of boards and things like that. Are we seeing rural areas in Montana having increased enrollment? Because I mean, I'm sure Bozeman is experiencing the same drop that Missoula is.
you know, Hellgate Elementary, which is,
Yeah.
you know, the booming area, has the smallest kindergarten class they've had for a long time.
Yeah.
So this is not just, and it is, the rural schools are really,
So where are the kids going? Leaving Montana,
they're not being, yeah,
they're
that,
not being born.
that is,
They're,
that's,
yeah.
that's what that is.
Yeah.
Yes.
People are hesitant to have kids.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my report. I'm happy to answer any other questions or.
Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
A second.
You did see, I appreciate Gabby putting those numbers together. I hope you saw that. That's just
Yeah.
helpful for you.
That scoreboard was on there. That's cool.
Yeah.
That inside scoreboard, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's nice.
That's cool.